Well, hi, I'm Jeanette Campbell, a tech specialist and tweeter. Um, so this is Twitter Basics. So if you are already tweeting and you're here to find out how to build your clientele, then we'll talk about that a little bit. But this is all about setting up a Twitter account and how to get started, and why it's important. So let me share my screen. And I do have music on the screen. And so here we go. So yes, ready, tech, go. Here we are. It's the final day. I can't believe it. So I hope people have enjoyed it. We've enjoyed presenting to you, and we've had great audience participation. So today also, I hope, yes. Okay, so all about us at EdTech. We do have a vision. Our vision is to ensure that students and teachers have those 21st century skills and that they're successful in this age that we live in. So this, of course, includes critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, communication. Twitter's a great communication tool, adaptability, entrepreneurship, and technology literacy. So our goals are to improve student achievement. That's always what, those are who our customers are, is those students. So in order to do that, we want this integration and alignment of the technology apps, learning about all those and those 21st century competencies in daily instruction. We want to build teacher, educator capacity in technology operations through this kind of professional development. And then all of us as EdTech ISs offer like a virtual sandbox or Lumio cohort. So we're out there getting PD out virtually and then sometimes in person. So we're hoping, our goal is to optimize technologies so that it works in a framework. So it's not just technology for technology's sake. It should always be you have a goal that you want to reach, you use some kind of strategy, and then you pick the tool for that strategy and goal, never starting with, oh, I want to use this tool, so think about that. And then establish and support policies and procedures. We're here for that. So that's what EdTech is all about, and we're happy to be here. So this is Twitter Basics. Let's tweet. We see our superintendent tweeting. We see different departments tweeting, and it would be great to hear from teachers tweeting also. It's all about celebrating what's happening in education and building that global professional learning community that it's global. I've met people from all over the world. They've asked me questions, or I tweeted it out, or someone has tweeted something out and I grabbed it and said, "Oh, I like that." And you're from Australia or you're from wherever. So it's great communication, a community. You build a community of learners. So every PD, anything that comes from EdTech, has a focus on T-tests. In this case, a lot of what we do does focus on you're planning really good lessons, engaging lessons. But for Twitter, it's based on communication. So we want to be sure we're communicating to our community, our parents, about the school goals, the mission and vision of the school. So Twitter's a great way to do that. The technology application TEKS, the strand would be digital citizenship. We won't have our students tweeting, but teachers also need to be good digital citizens, and then we can be a good example for them. And so that would be kind of like an online chat is what Twitter is. And then of course ISTE standards, that educator as a facilitator to support students. So today, this is our purpose. We're going to become a part of a global professional community. Twitter is a PD platform, PD, so little chunks of nice PD, you learn something. with teachers and ed tech leaders. There's lots of ed tech leaders on there sharing engaging lessons. So the way we're going to do it, we're going to set up a Twitter account. We're going to follow our district leaders and teachers. And that right away starts growing your PLN. You'll start seeing, oh, how many people do I have? We'll start out with the basics of Twitter, which is just liking. You kind of just are not stalking, but you're kind of stalking. You like stuff. And then you retweet stuff that you like. So we'll kind of go there. We'll go easy on you. And then hopefully, maybe by the end, we can create a tweet that celebrates some classroom learning experiences, or create a tweet about Ready Tech Go and your experiences with Ready Tech Go. So the payoff is 24/7, you have these bite-sized professional development opportunities. Okay, let's get started. So I hope you have your phone, your device. You can also do it on your laptop or Chromebook, twitter.com. I prefer to use the Twitter app because that's what works best in SAISD. If you're not in SAISD, then maybe just your regular, but your phone or your iPad is with you all the time. And I find that if I keep it with me, then I take pictures and I tweet out much more. So download the Twitter app and you just kind of follow the prompts. So start that process. It's going to ask you for your full name and a phone number. You have to put a phone number. Later on, we'll tell it, hey, just send me a text, but you have to verify. They're going to send you a text to verify your account. So don't put a fake number. I know we don't like to give out our number, but I've never had any problem giving out my number, but it has to be something where they can send you a text. And then a password that you'll remember, and then click sign up with Twitter. So thumbs up when you've got that done, and we can go to the next screen. I'll put it in the chat. Done. Ready to go on to number 4.
I have a question.
Sure.
Is it possible to have like a professional Twitter and a personal Twitter, or you just have one?
No, I would definitely, that's a really great question. I would definitely separate. If you like to tweet, I have lots of friends that tweet just like they want to follow movie stars and cooks and all this stuff. I would use my personal email for that and just keep it completely separate, a different name, different Twitter handle. Then this is where it comes to, like, I use a personal Gmail, but I give myself a name that has to do with SAISD. The only reason I use my personal email is just that if I ever leave, then I don't have to change, and we'd lose that SAISD. So, but make it 2 separate accounts. So think of it that way, like give yourself a handle that has to do with teacher or instructional coach, or in my case, an ed tech coach, and then give yourself a cool name if you're going to be tweeting with rock stars and movie stars. So 2 separate Twitters, yes. Good question.
So how do I do that? Because I have a personal, but I want to do a professional.
Okay, so you could use your SAISD email and set up a professional one, or your whatever school district you're from. I'm sorry, I took it for granted. What district are you from?
I'm from here. I'm from
Okay,
SAISD.
okay. You could use your SAISD email to set up a new. It goes by an email account. So
Okay.
yeah, so try that.
Okay.
And it kind of just prompts you along the way. So I'm going to go to the next slide just so you can, yes, you will have to verify your phone number and say, send me a text. That's why you can't give them a fake number. a thing to think about when it says sign up for Twitter and select a username. Twitter will try to just give you this name based on what you've given them. Like, like me, it would probably like J Campbell 3456. I don't know, just kind of puts a number. But you go ahead and pick your Twitter handle, something that, because anyone that wants to follow you can either search for you by your name, or you give them your Twitter handle. Keep it simple, like maybe your last name and then teacher or room, your room number, something creative, something kind of fun. But that will be your Twitter handle. So you could give that out and say, follow me. So do we have accounts? Yes, we're getting there. Put it in the chat if you're ready to go. When you've got an account set up, then
I'm having trouble setting up the separate account.
okay, what does it say?
It's just it won't on the laptop it won't allow me in, and then on my, since I already have a Twitter account, it's just it won't like change.
Okay. Yeah, on the app, you'd have to go to your app and sign out of your app and say, I want to create a new, so you'd have to click on your picture and you'd have to leave that account and then say you want to open another one.
Oh, okay. Let me try that. Okay.
Okay, so keep working on it. I'm going to play this little video. Just, I think it's inspiring, and I know you're here because you will tweet or interested in tweeting, but let's watch this little video about teachers, why educators should tweet.
All right, tonight, make sure that you bring home your folder and your science book, review section 1.2 and 1.3 vocabulary, and be ready for tomorrow's quiz. Have a good night. and are going to have to make some alterations.
I'm new to Twitter and I'm currently using it to get new ideas for my classroom, to better my teaching, and also to share information with colleagues.
It connects you to people that are like-minded, and so you can share resources with one another.
I like to use it to send messages and my own learning and share my learning with others that I'm connected to.
I use Twitter to connect to other technology coaches around the world.
It creates a forum for educators to exchange ideas that can be useful in the classroom.
Twitter has helped me professionally become a stronger learner, an active learner.
Twitter is my personal professional development. I use it to share with colleagues, collaborate, and get inspired by other people's work.
Okay, so how are those Twitter accounts coming? I guess you're moving along. We'll find out soon when I ask you for your Twitter handle. So why Twitter? As an educator, as mentioned in the slideshow, you are going to build this whole global network of shared resources. I've gotten so many ideas as a teacher and as a tech coach from Twitter. The one I remember most that people are like, wow, that's a good idea. What I saw on Twitter, kids were making a diorama, and then what they were doing was green screening a video of the kids explaining what's in their diorama. And then we shrunk the kids down and put them in their diorama. And so we did this, I did this with the 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade class. And it was for parent night, and everybody's just like, wow. Well, I saw it on Twitter. It wasn't my idea, but it came out awesome, great. The kids had fun. The parents are like, wow, so cool. So yeah, connect with like-minded educators. Most of the time on Twitter, and they call it teacher Twitter, kind of, once you start following people, you're just going to really just have a bunch of teachers that you're following, or administrators, or ed tech people, that kind of thing. And it turns into inspiring. Yes, we've had situations where we think, okay, these people are just like overly positive, we're kind of having a rough time, but it's still teachers that care about kids, care about doing the best they can. Not a lot of negativity on teacher Twitter is what I'm saying. And that's why when I keep my account separate, I only follow people that I know are going to act that way. I don't want to know anything about politics on my teacher Twitter. I don't want it to turn into Facebook. Some people will share, some educators will share some of their personal life, which is totally fine. People graduate, get married, have babies. That's great. You get to know them. But with teacher Twitter, I don't want to know anything else about the outside world. So I don't follow any news media on my teacher Twitter. So you have this professional learning network that you build and meet all these people. And then you as a teacher, coach, instructional coach, anyone on it, you can share what's happening in the classrooms. And parents are on Twitter, and many educators are on Twitter. We find that high school kids are on Twitter, not so much our elementary and middle, obviously, but parents more and more are on Twitter, and educators are definitely on Twitter. So that's how you can use Twitter. So here's a few tweets from SAISD. So our new superintendent, not new, I guess he's been here the whole year, he likes to tweet, and he includes pictures and names of campuses, and we'll talk about that. He uses a short, exciting kind of, look what's happening here, great things are happening in SAISD, in this educator or this school. Our department and the PD department also tweets to talk about the different PD that's coming up, summer school or summer camp, Ready, Tech, Go, we tweeted out a lot about. So you can get a lot of different information. Here, one of our, he used to be our coordinator, now he's gone up the ranks, about how to get Google certified. So there's lots of good information on Twitter that you can find out about SAISD and then beyond, not just our district. As ed tech people, we like to tweet out. Personally, I love to tweet out what teachers are doing in their classroom. It's never about me, it's about the teacher. So I like to have a picture that always shows either the kid's excited, the teacher excited. Try to name the teacher. Sometimes teachers don't have a Twitter account, but you can still say their name, what school they're at. And so that's always good. So all of us try to, here's from our ed tech also, and I don't know, my eyes are kind of going out here a little bit, but so this is where we can share the great things that are happening with our ecosystem of tools in SAISD, Lumia or Kami, or we have some Jamie with STEM things. So it's a really wide variety of all the amazing things happening in SAISD, and you'll see in other districts also, celebrating educators and education. So I know as you're setting up your Twitter account, if you're still in the process of it, you are maybe excited about some things and you're nervous about some things. So I want you to unmute, there's just a few of us in here, and let us know maybe something you're excited about, or why you came to this PD, why you think you want to start tweeting, what are you kind of nervous about, because it can be kind of nerve-wracking too. It's kind of an acquired taste for sure. Anybody want to share? Maybe. Or put
So
it in the...
I am excited about getting connected, maybe getting ideas from other teachers, people within the district, maybe people not in the district, but maybe in the same field. What am I nervous about? I am not somebody who is immersed in social media at all. And so, you know, you hear a lot about things on the news with social media, and so that might be a little nerve-wracking and probably why I stay off of it. But I know there's a lot of pros to it, so.
Very good. Yes, yes. That's what I hear a lot. Like, I really just don't want to be on social media, and that makes me nervous. I don't want any weird people to follow me. So you have control over that. I'll get follow requests all the time, and I have kind of a strict, like, who are you? Who else follows you? How many followers do you have? If you have one, if you were in my training, yes, I'm going to follow you, but you don't have to follow people back. Now, some people like to put a restriction on their Twitter, which you totally can. But then you have to be checking your Twitter to A-OK if somebody can follow you, you know, that kind of thing. So I don't suggest it, but I can totally understand when you're first starting out. But we're going to talk about what happens when you're first starting out on Twitter. So thank you for sharing. Thank you. That's right. That's what a lot of people are. They're excited for the possibilities, but I'm kind of nervous that something bad's going to happen, like I hear on the news. Yeah. So on your Twitter account, hopefully you have it. It probably looks very similar to what's on the screen. You'll notice that you'll see your unique username. When you click on the little shadow, it'll say your name, and then it'll say yours. Like mine's Jeanette Campbell, so they could search me by Jeanette Campbell, or EdTech Campbell is my handle. So that's my handle, that's my username. When you get a chance, you don't have to do it right now, try a short little bio adding it, because that's what people look at when they want to follow you. That's what I look at too. If they don't have a bio, I'm like, what? So something to the effect that you're a teacher or teach third grade, or you're an ed tech coach, and learning, love to share and learn on Twitter, something to that effect. Then you have this profile photo. It used to be an egg, it was really obvious. Now it's a shadow. Change that as soon as you can, because that's another sign of this person not that serious about Twitter. I'm not sure if I should follow them. So it'd be good to put a picture of yourself just so people go, yeah, that's who I'm looking for. You could put a picture of your dog, college. You could put anything. Just get rid of this little shadow. Definitely. And then there's a header photo that you add to, which is kind of like a background. You don't see it so much on the app, but if you open all the way up, you'll see a background. And I just have kids on computers. So, and my bio says, my mission is to help teachers and students become lifelong learners and thinkers. I love using technology to get there. So sweet. It doesn't have to be super elaborate, like how many years you've been teaching or married or whatever. So, but my suggestion is, this is already set up for you because you set it up. You can do the bio a little bit later, but get rid of this shadow the first thing. And then, yes, add a quick little bio line. Are we doing okay? Because I'm going to keep going unless somebody says stop. Because I want to tell you about how to compose a tweet. So you have 280 characters of text that you can use in the message. It may contain photos, videos, or other links. Include a hashtag for a wider audience. What that means is when you hashtag something, people can search just by hashtags. Let's say I really want to know about green screen. I heard about a project and I want to do green screen. Or I heard about Lumio. I keep hearing about Lumio. I want to see Lumio. So I can search just hashtag Lumio, because somebody has done that, or Lumio engagement, Lumio's, and then I'll see a big, long variety of tweets. So my tweet that I hashtagged Lumio will go further out because more people will look at it. Then maybe people will follow me and say, oh my goodness, she tweets a lot about teachers doing Lumio and I want to know more about it. So that's really what the hashtag is for. That freaks some people out, but it really is just a way to filter views of Twitter. Because I will tell you, Twitter is like a fire hose of information. So you get on Twitter, you have your Twitter feed, and it goes on and on and on. And you can let that overwhelm you by wanting to know where the conversation started. That was the first hiccup I had, was like, well, I'm just seeing part of somebody's conversation. But you learn to just kind of, if you're not interested, just keep going. Read a little bit of it, look at the picture, keep going. If if you don't understand it, it's okay. You don't have to understand everything, but you will find enough things that do interest you. So think of it that way, because it can be very overwhelming. So some more Twitter basics. I just want to tell you about your screen and how it works. So the first icon you'll see, not anymore, they always change it around, but let me see. Now it's still the same. Okay, first you can do is you can reply. So if I want to reply and I click on reply, it's actually going to go straight to Ernest Gonzalez because I'm replying to something he said here. But Ernest and anybody that follows Ernest will see that reply. Okay, that's why it gets kind of weird, because I reply and say, hey, you're great, Ernest, and then somebody just sees, hey, you're great, Ernest, and doesn't see the rest of it. But like I said, just keep going. You don't have to worry. You don't have to understand everything. You can retweet or quote a tweet. I like this. I want people to know about it. This is really good. So I'm going to retweet it. When I'm a beginner, I just retweet it. That's it, because I'm kind of nervous. I'm just like, oh, this is Ernest and he's important. And I just want to retweet. I don't want to mess anything up. Eventually, as I get braver, I'll quote the tweet. So it's the same button, and it'll ask you, do you just want to retweet or you want to quote? So when you want to quote, you want to add like, these graphic organizers have been great in 3rd grade class at Fenwick Academy. You know, so you add something to the tweet. It's harder to do later on because you're like, oh, what do I say? I want to be sure spelling it right. So when we first get started, this is what we do a lot. We like. And so we're scrolling along. We don't understand some of it because it's half the conversation. But we see something and we see someone we know and we go, yeah, I like that. I like it. I like it. So that's kind of how you'll begin your Twitter journey if you're just beginning it. The last button is a share button, which if you see something on Twitter and you want to share it with someone, you can click that share button and then send it to them in messages or email. I do that all the time. Hey, check this out. Just a friend of mine or my sister or whoever. Have you seen this? Especially Lisa. If it's about dogs, about this veterinarian helping homeless people that have dogs. It was a tearjerker. But so you'll come across those kind of things and you'll want to share it. And you just click the share button and it can send it anywhere. So those are kind of the basics. Here's a table, and I think Jeff is going to maybe put this in the chat so you'll have it. And so what retweet means is that you're going to share what somebody else tweeted and all of their followers will see it also. That's when it becomes nervous to you. If you just retweet it, you're like, okay, it's okay. It was his and my followers and his followers are going to see it. When you quote a tweet, you're adding something, you're adding your own thoughts. And so with all of your followers, so your followers are going to see it, okay? Reply is like you're really trying to talk directly to that person, but a lot of people are still going to see it, both your followers and the person you replied to. So here we go again. Like is just so easy and non-stressful. I like it. Yes, I like it. So I think that's where you should start. So here's the tips. The easiest way to begin is just to like someone's tweet. And we're going to practice in a minute, so be ready. Another way is just by retweeting it. You see it, you retweet it. You don't say anything. Then you do level up. So it's going to take you a while, or maybe not. Maybe you're ready. So leveling up is retweeting with your own comment and writing your own tweet is 280 characters, but you don't have to use all 280 characters. Get a nice, clean tweet out that's got like a hook to it, like, hey, check this out, all excited. Really, less is more, for sure. But we want to celebrate educators, so a good way to do that is to include a picture or a graphic that grabs the attention. If those pictures of students, don't ever put their names anywhere. Personally, I try not to get the faces of kids. I try to get kind of back and on the keyboard or what they're working on. That's just what I prefer since I work at several schools and I don't know all the situations. And I try to make it focus on the teacher. And I do let the teacher know, hey, I'm going to tweet this out. And then I always send them like a snapshot, a screenshot of the tweet so they can see it. I can have it for their T-tests. You know, here you go. So when you are tweeting to celebrate educators, put the name of the teacher. Some teachers will have a Twitter handle, some will not, and that's okay. But put the name of the teacher, the school. Most of the SAISD schools do have a Twitter handle. They usually start with SAISD and then the school name, but some still don't. I don't find them all. Like, talk about the lesson. Oh, this lesson on nouns and verbs. Oh, this lesson on force and motion in first grade. Can you believe first graders are, doing this science concept? So connect it to the instruction that's happening, not just, hey, these kids are having fun in Lumio. Well, what are they learning? So make it connected to some kind of instruction or the tech tool that you're using. And then tagging. When you are writing a tweet, you can tag the people that are in it. So in our case, I would tag definitely the teacher. I might tag the principal of that school if that principal has a Twitter account. I will tag my coordinator, my boss, the people I really want to see it. Because when I tag them, then it goes into their Twitter feed. So they will see it because they have been tagged in it. So that's really important. Sometimes I forget it or run out of space or whatever, but really try to do that as much as you can because they appreciate it also. Like, oh, wow, that's good, and maybe you're tagging them because they helped you, or look what this, thanks for the idea, whatever. And it could be, it doesn't have to just be a teacher, principal. We have all these ed tech professionals out there across the country. Casey Bell, Alice Keeler, Matt Miller, Eric Kurtz. I mean, all these big names. And so maybe you got the idea from them. And if you tag them, they usually respond back to you. Then maybe they follow you. So it's kind of cool when you get a tag back from Lumio or, one of these ed tech. They'll tag you back or say, hey, that looks really great. So here are some, I call them ed tech must follows. They've been around quite a while, but they still are running strong, doing all the things. Eric Kurtz, he does a lot of Google. Richard Byrne, he does a lot of free technology. Vicki Davis, Cool Cat Teacher, she was a teacher. She might still kind of be teaching, but she has some great authentic activities that she shares. Alice Keeler is a big Google and math. She's kind of a mathy kind of person. Shake Up Learning, Casey Bell does a lot of Google. Jake Miller and TechNinja Todd. Edutopia has amazing little articles and then ideas. So all of these people and probably more, you'll find some. You're welcome. Once I get your Twitter here in a minute, I'll follow you, and then you can look and see the people I follow if you want to. You don't have to, and follow some of them if you recognize those names. So this is what we're going to work on for the next at least 10, 15 minutes is your first job is to follow some teachers, schools. So you can start searching right away. You go to the little magnifying glass and type up and search. Just type in SAISD and you'll start seeing the different schools populating. So right away, I just see you can follow the district as a whole, extended day, dual language, Gravener, Cotton Academy, a lot of them come up, so follow some of those. Then as you start getting things in your Twitter feed, you can like some of those tweets, or you can retweet. Right now, I want you to share your Twitter handle in the chat so we can all follow each other. So I think I'm going to stop sharing. So good, I can see the chat. And so when you start sharing your Twitter handle, mine is @edtech Campbell. Just put that in the search bar and then click follow. I'm a safe follow for sure. No politics, no. The Maine Ed Tech. Oh, I like that. Clever. The Maine Ed Tech. Boo. It'll take a little while. I already follow you, Jeffrey. Okay, I'm still trying.
Like it may take a few minutes for those new accounts.
Yeah, the new accounts haven't shown up yet, so.
I did search for a couple of them and haven't found them yet, but
okay, yeah.
Make sure we get them on our list.
Yeah, Casey's not showing up yet. Keep feeding them to us.
Do I have to have a certain setting on, or does it matter?
To find people's accounts?
Mm-hmm.
No, you should just be able to go to the search.
Okay.
And then either type in their name or their Twitter handle. Did you find mine?
I'm gonna type. I just found the search bar.
Oh, okay. That's okay.
That was the hardest part, the learning curve.
Oh, okay. No, yeah. Safe zone here. So yeah, just a little magnifying glass and all the SEISD ones come up pretty quick. So you might want to start there. Trying to find her by her name, but nope. Oh, this is cool. I look up Casey Maine and it says Casey wanted to be a Maine biologist until she found out. So nope, not that Casey Maine.
Not that yet. I don't want my secret to get out, Jeanette.
Okay, yeah, sometime. Okay, Stevens. This one, okay. Or if you can find me, then boom, I'll see who my new people are. If you can find me or Jeffrey, because we've been in there a while.
So I see on my following now that Miss Armstrong, she was able to follow me.
All right.
So I see now where it popped up.
Okay, awesome. It's exciting. Oh, I have 2 notifications. Yes. I'm going to follow you back. Ms. Ramirez, I'm going to follow you back. All right.
All right, so while we are following everybody and getting all that rounded out, I'm going to go ahead and put in the chat our survey and also sign in so everyone can get their hours for today's session. I'm going to go ahead and also put in the chat the full URL for those of you that are out of district, and it's a little bit easier for you to navigate to that sign-in page. So don't forget to do that before we leave today.
So when you get to whomever you're following, like if you follow Jeffrey or myself, you can go into our profile and you can see who we're following. If you just want to head start on following people, you can do that. I remember doing that, like, oh, they have good taste. I like that. So I'm still looking for Steve, Adelina. Adelina BICA. No. Oh, I found Stephen. Hey, Stevens High School. That's my old district. Okay, got you followed. So here's somebody. Yay. Okay, thanks for the follow. You can set up your Twitter. I see a lot of people. You can go in and set up like an automatic message that says, thank you for the follow. Now, I don't personally do that because some people get on Twitter and they act all cray-cray and they follow you and their name is like, what's one of those funny things that they would make people announce and then they go like, what? Your refrigerator's running, or I don't know, something weird. Okay, so then you get the automatic, you send out an automatic, thanks for following me, your refrigerator's running, go catch it. You know, and then you're like, so I don't personally do that, but you certainly can. That's beyond this training right now, but just be sure to go check on your notification bell. And in the notifications, you can see every time there's a mention, you know, like I said, tag somebody in it, somebody mentions you. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Go. Twitter. Oh, I got a big glare on my. Name.
All right, I did add again the our sign in. So please make sure that you sign in so we are able to provide those hours to you. And if you are out of district, we will be sending out certificates so you're able to produce those for your district so you can get credit as well.
Oh. Okay, our time's up almost. Let me see if I had anything else exciting I wanted to tell you on my presentation. Where did it go? Where did it go? Oh my goodness. Oh, no. Okay, so here we are. And we shared. So try to retweet a couple of things. It'll be fun watching y'all tonight. And then that was it. Yeah, here is your Bitly, and Jeff handled that. So let's start tweeting. We have all kinds of people tweeting, and we want to celebrate education for sure. We want to get the positive stuff out there.